I'm going to be sharing today a story of where I grew up. I grew up in a Sindhi refugee colony called Ulhasnagar, which is located outside the conurbation of Mumbai, the city, the largest city in India. And my city, the town of Ulhasnagar, was built up as a refugee town, which was later transformed into a small enterprise compiled of all industries, and that supported the growth of the Sindhi refugees who moved post-partition to India from Pakistan in 1947. And post-partition, I witnessed my city sort of growing on the onslaught of climate-induced challenges, reckoned with most of the complexities mingled with the greatest of its residents. And it has the highest growth density in India, and with very little park spaces. And paradoxically, it is known as the city of joy. Ulhas means joy, and city translates into Nagar. And as you can see, this is how the city pretty much looked like, where the buildings are like dying and there are very little park spaces. And many communities like my own sort of experience flooding as a pervasive risk. And globally, around 2.8 billion people are affected by severe flooding. Our household help named Shanti, who worked in our house, lived very close to our settlement, and she lived in Krishnanagar, which is another informal settlement called for migrant workers who've moved there from the northern state of Uttar Pradesh. And every monsoon, she complained about her house flooding, and in every summer, she complained about not having enough water. And in 2020, I visited her house for the first time for her daughter's wedding. And I noticed that most women there, as you can see in the picture on my left, stored rainwater. And I asked her, why was that? The answer to that was not because for cooking and washing, but to actually use it for flushing within toilets. As you can see, she's walking there with a bucket, and they used to travel with the bucket of water to use that for sanitation, because most of these toilets did not have water. And why was that? Was because this, as you can see, is the single toilet that serves the entire settlement of 50,000 people. And what it means is that it's serving, the one toilet seat is serving around 80 people daily at a time. And of course, that puts a huge burden on sanitation delivery within India. And this represents most informal settlements, the story of most informal settlements in India. And so my immediate response as an architect and a designer was to sort of come together, organize a group of designers like me to build something that could immediately solve this problem. And so in the due course of time, we harvested over 1 million liters of water, gathered a lot of engineers to do their work, and in the first monsoon, we almost harvested over 1 million liters of water. But my immediate question was that, did it actually impact the community in the way it was supposed to? Did that actually mean that they now had access to dignified sanitation? And the simple answer to that was no, because technology alone cannot solve the problem, and it takes more than technological deployment to make a change. And one of our key understandings was that the reason why sanitation delivery fails to work in India is because of poor sanitation infrastructure. And the way that can actually transform is through actually empowering residents, especially women, because they bear the most burden of sanitation within our Indian society. And it's really to sort of transform these communities and empower them to actually demand change, a grassroots level change. And so that sort of led us to really rethink the approach towards sanitation delivery, more than just repurposing the existing infrastructure, to really integrate and transform women leadership and wash literacy within these informal settlements. And the combined approach really sort of looked at capacity building for sanitation, increasing wash literacy within these settlements, and as a result of that, women were sort of becoming the agent of change, to demanding change within the way sanitation is worked. And that led to a new toilet being inaugurated through local activism, through grassroots activism within the community. And eventually also led in sort of creating this incentive model, which the community themselves came up with, was that if a particular car sevak, who's a sanitation worker within India, is able to clean the toilet and maintain it well, the entire community would sort of offer an incentive structure where he would be more willing to clean it properly. By contributing $1 in a month, every household would contribute $1 if he is dutifully cleaning the toilet and maintaining it to its truest potential. And as a result, this sort of led to restructuring and interacting with local governments to really think about how sanitation delivery in India can be tackled. And that was definitely through community integration, through local solution. This is the story that I wanted to really share at a time, especially as a youth ambassador for India. It's more important than ever before in India, when a country is sort of experiencing the growth of, it's added more than 200 million people in the last 2 decades, and it's crucial in this picture because it is more the people that they've added in the last, since 1947, ever since the country actually became independent. And it sort of is very important now more than ever before to really rethink the way we are thinking about sanitation, water, and hygiene facilities, because it's a growing population that's in dire need of it. So yeah, thank you so much.